throughout Elon's life, he's made some major decisions, from uprooting himself from South Africa to dropping out of Stanford. And decisions make a difference. That's what it comes down to. And we see this when he dropped out of Stanford. He started Zip2, the a company that worked with papers to go online. And he made $25 million after selling that business. And that spurred something in him. It sparked an interest. And from there he started XCOM, which delved into the financial industry and made it a whole innovative process. And along this way, it leads him to what I really want to get into a little bit here, PayPal. X.com was a competitor of my company, Confinity, and it was dealt with online payments. And with this, we looked at the industry at the time, and the internet bubble was about to burst, and we had to make a decision. And this was a program decision. He looked at it, and he said, we have no other options. He looked through using the bound rationality decision model, other alternatives. He looked at the consistent best choice that we could make, and he was aware of it all, and he calculated the success of each of those. And we decided that a merger was the best option for us. And in the end, eBay bought us for $1.5 billion. Okay. So with that merger, we had a very effective decision after that. After our sale, we did survive the big bubble burst, whereas a lot of other companies went under. But because of our combined interest, we made it through, and we came out ahead. And after that, Elon, he went on to do many other great things. He started SpaceX, and this is where, before he was doing some program decision making, he started something completely new in this, completely innovative, no experience in rocket science, and all of a sudden he studies it and self-teaches himself. He teaches everything himself. And here he's going to Russia, and he's looking at rockets and everything else, and how can he make his mark and do something even further when he's already done. And he even admitted himself that he was clueless, and he had no idea what he was doing. But eventually he found a way, and he found himself in a new position. He was successful there. He was successful in investing in Tesla, $35 million, eventually up to $55 million. And we see a different decision-making process here. I would probably describe it more as the Z model, where he looked at the facts. He said, I have $55 million invested in a company. He looked at the alternatives as to what could they do with this, and he decided it's either the other guy as CEO or it's me, after analyzing it all. And the impact was, he had $55 million invested. He had the most to lose, the most to gain. He should be in control. And it was his leadership that would lead them to success. And that's the kind of guy Elon Musk is. Many different styles of decision making, but all effective.
To talk to you about a company that went public in 2010, Tesla Motors. Its initial public offering was $17, and at the end of the market day, it closed at $23.89, which is a 33% increase. That means the stocks can continue to roar. In the past 5 years, shares of this company have risen nearly 100% to show that the stocks, investors trust this company, shows that investors are going to keep pouring their money and trust Tesla. To put this in perspective, today Tesla closed at $242.78. The 52-week high is $291.42, and the low has been $116.10. From this information, the industry showed that it had a beta of 1.38. This means that no matter which way the stock market goes in a day, up or down, that Tesla remains pretty constant and does not rely on the market. Shooting the stock price up was talks with BMW to collaborate in battery technology and charging stations. This would be installed within the next 5 to 6 years which made investors pour in money trusting that Tesla is going to go global. Another insider was that Tesla is going to build a gigafactory which would produce lithium-ion batteries, and by 2020 the amount of batteries produced would be what the world has produced this year in 2014. However, this would be a $5 billion investment of the company's money, so that saw the stock price dropped because people are a little hesitant, but throughout the day the stock market rose back to where it was. When you look at this company, it seems that the stock has only one way of going, and that is up. I believe that Tesla will sustain for the rest of the future.
And my name is Gilbert Passon, the VP of Manufacturing at the Fremont factory of Tesla. When discussing Elon Musk's personality, behavior, values, and motivation strategies last video, one thing we could not help but mention was Elon's extreme work ethic. As stated earlier, Elon works 80 to 100 hours a week, and this directly affects the organizational culture of Tesla. For example, this intense number of hours can be seen as personal enactment on his part, since Tesla expects all of their employees to put in at least 50 hours a week. In addition, this number can reach up to 100 hours, including weekends. The second level of organizational culture is values. Values of Tesla include profit, innovation, and environmental friendliness. These are in line with Elon's values and give Tesla an adaptive culture. Many people do not realize this is the case within Tesla. I've worked at several car companies including Ford and Toyota, and their only value is profit. However, the values of innovation, environmental friendliness, with the combination of ambitious employees are what differentiates Tesla's culture from other car companies because they cater to the customer in the world. When I applied for my job as VP of Manufacturing, Elon personally gave me the interview, and immediately following it, he let me drive the latest model of the Tesla car. This was an opportunity to let me preview what Tesla is currently doing, and today I have full flexibility with regards to manufacturing new cars today. I can provide one piece of advice for anyone looking to work at Tesla, not just the Fremont factory, but in general. It'd be this. Do your research on Tesla's culture if you want to fit into it. There are 3 steps required in this. The first is anticipatory socialization, which is when your expectations of the company and how the actual company's culture are compared and contrasted. The second stage is encounter, which is when, as a new employee, you learn the jobs and roles and make new relationships in the workplace. This is the hardest part because you may be overwhelmed by how free yet driven the employees around you are. However, you will also be empowered to do the same, and it may be an adjustment period. Lastly, you will go through the change and acquisition stage, which involves mastery of your job and its culture. If you follow three steps, you will love your job and undoubtedly see success here at Tesla.
If I were in the position of Elon Musk, I would do things a little bit differently. First of all, I wouldn't have given all of my patents out. As necessary as he may have thought it was for the electric car industry to thrive, I think it goes along the lines of one of my favorite sayings. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man a fish and you've lost a great business opportunity. I want to be a similar leader as Elon Musk when I grow up, although I don't want to have his work week. As a leader, I'd like to have a loyal workforce that knows I care for them and knows that I am doing the best for the most people. I'd like to be seen as a legitimate leader that is highly regarded in the business world and seen as an ethical leader in everything I do.
I learned that Elon has an adaptive culture around Tesla Motors. It seems that the company encourages risk-taking. He empowers his employees to give out new ideas to make the best and latest electronic car there is. However, all the decisions do come back to him. And upon thinking about this, I thought I would change Tesla to more of a strong culture if I could, where since he's already been giving away his patents for people to experience and try themselves, why does he let the people see the inside of his factories and people express themselves? So even though you don't have to know everything about cars, you know the type of culture that Tesla stands for.
Throughout my research for this project, I learned so much about Elon Musk. One aspect that stands out to me personally is how much of a risk taker that Elon is. For example, on one occasion, he gave away patentable information to Tesla's competitors to improve the car industry and the world as a whole. Another interesting thing is how he treats his family. He considers himself a family man, wants to have many kids and to provide for them, but at the same time, he also works 80 to 100 hours as a CEO and never hangs around his family. As for what type of leader that I would like to become, I surely want to be a transformational leader. Looking at the 10 different characteristics of this type of leader, which are listening, empathy, healing, awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to the growth of people, and healing community, I think a leader that can capture all 10 of these aspects, including myself, and it's something that I'll strive for. If I had the opportunity to make changes or do different decisions that Elon took, I would say that one of them would be just to not give trade secrets to my competitors. I think that product innovation is a really big expense for a company, and you should take pride in what your employees have developed. They might take offense to that as well. Additionally, he also spoke out against Tesla's stock price, saying that it was much overvalued, and if anything, that's a really, really bad idea because the stock price began to decline dramatically. Other than that, Elon has succeeded in any business decision he has ever taken for the most part, and there's really not a whole lot of room to criticize his decisions. Lastly, I think Elon behaves very ethically and engages socially responsibly for his behaviors. Tesla has great product innovation, and they don't have to resort to finding information about their competitors to try to gain a step ahead. They already are ahead of the game. Lastly, its values of environmental friendliness, creativity, and innovation make it a leader in the car industry as a whole.
Were I in Elon Musk's position, there is not a great deal that I would have changed, but there are some small points that I would like to speak on regarding the practices of other organizations that I've had exposure to. I won't name any names, but throughout several of my internship experiences, I've noticed that the issue of sustainability is more often talked about than it is actually executed. And I really admire Elon's actual execution of sustainable practices through Tesla, SolarCity, and his SpaceX operations. And that legitimacy that brings him all these leadership positions and the expertise that he's garnered from all of the actual accomplishments that he's had is something that I really admire about him as a leader, and I would really like for my future.
So from this project, I learned a lot, and I think what I decided is that the type of leader that I could see myself being in, that I would like to be, is the transformational leader. Somebody who can inspire others and excite others to follow them towards a common goal. And then by doing that, also uses a reward and punishment system, where if you do a good job, you're going to see the benefits. And if you don't, then at least at some point, to some extent, there should be a negative side effect. As far as Elon Musk, with his styles and with everything that he did, I think the only thing that I would have done differently was the amount of risk that he went through. And with the $55 million investment in a company, with quitting school, those are big risk factors. But then again, on the other side, you look at that, he probably wouldn't be where he is today because of it. So maybe I wouldn't have done it different. But, ethical behavior. I think when you look at Elon Musk and the ethics that go behind his decisions and his actions, what comes to mind to me is Tesla. And by giving away the information, I find that to break the mold of that whole industry. I really think that's actually amazing. By giving that information away, there are no secrets, there's no power struggle between companies with him. He's simply saying, look, let's look to the future for a better tomorrow. And that's amazing to me. He's not holding secret.